Hi, welcome to Holiday Romance. How can I help you today? Yes, we have plenty of openings. I have opening right now, if you would like. How did you hear about our service? A friend of you mentioned it. Okay, well, so we are a matchmaking service, and we specialize in holiday romance because we believe that no one should have to be alone on the holidays if they don't want to. And we have a very high success rate of matching people. And the way it works is we have a series of questions like, most of the other matching services. And we customize the answers to match with our other people in our database. And then we have a preliminary phone call. And then if things seem to go okay in the phone call, then you will get a date, usually a lunch or sometimes drinks, dinner, whatever. We always suggest keeping it casual at the first date. But we do, as I said, we have a very high success rate. And we do guarantee at least one match up that will be successful. Somebody you will get to know for the holidays and maybe share a couple of dates, or doing something nice in the holiday, going Christmas tree shopping together, or decorating your house, going caroling if that's what you like. So yeah, it's a little unusual. We only operate during December for the holiday season. Actually, we sometimes have other specials during the year, but we really focus on the holiday times. And we have been in business for 4 years, and we do have couples that actually are still together from our very first year. So we just feel it's a time that people can be lonely, if you're single, and it can be a nice time to meet somebody that you're compatible with. Does that sound like something you'd like to do? Wonderful. All right. Okay, so the questions take 30 to 45 minutes, just depending. And we usually allow 3 to 4 days to sort through our databases. We have does a computer sort initially, and then part of our success is we go through and look ourselves, and sometimes there's just that X factor that the computer doesn't pick up, and I think that's why we are so successful. Yes. Okay, well, we'll start usually with some very sort of basic questions about you, and then we'll get into some other sort of situational questions, your preferences, and things like that. All right, ready? All right, let me get a new screen up here. Okay, I've got this larger keyboard because this one is too small to really use very easily. All right, so let's start with your name. Gary. Oh, Gary, good to meet you. And your age. brief description. We say medium brown hair. We do enter the physical appearances. We don't use that in the matching so much, but it is helpful once we start to tell people about the other possibilities, just in case something is a factor. Alright, so we'll say medium brown hair, and it's a medium length. Alright, and your height is your 6 feet. Okay. And weight 165. Alright. Okay, so what is your occupation? Landscape architecture, that I always found that very fascinating because I love plants. But you're combining architecture and plants with that. I always think they're two things I like. So anyway, and what city do you live in, by the way? Okay, we'll get your address and that stuff later, but just we want to make sure people are in a similar geographic location. Alright, and how many years have you been in this career? It's about 15. So pretty much out of school. And where did you go to college? Alright. And you graduated in 2018. Alright. Alright. And do you, well, first, have you ever been married? No. Do you have a house or an apartment or some other situation? Oh, you purchased a condo. All right. How long ago was that? All right. And what are some of your outside of work hobbies? Softball or baseball team? Okay. You like going to movies? Do you like going in person or watching in home or both? Because it's actually, people have really strong preferences. You're actually going to the theater. Okay. And what are your favorite types of movies, would you say? You like sci-fi and you like comedies. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Any other interests outside of that? You like to play backgammon. My husband likes that. Let's see. How about reading? Are you much of a reader? Not too much. So. Somewhat a reader. Do you like thrillers? Alright. And now these questions, some of them, you might not understand why we ask them, but you just trust the process. So, what is your favorite color to wear? And do you shop in the stores for clothes, or do you shop online or mail order catalogs? You like to go to the stores, or yeah, it's always nice when you can try things on, not have to return stuff. Okay, do you have any pets? And how many? You have two kitty cats. All right. And what about cooking? Do you like to cook? Do you cook for yourself at home, or do you like cooking at home? That is great. And what about going out to dinner? Are you do you like casual? Do you like fancy? Are you open to anything? You prefer casual? Okay. And what about drinking? Are you alcohol-wise? Do you like going out drinking, going to bars? Not that much. Once in a while with some friends. All right, that's fine. Yeah, you can just give short answers, or you can elaborate, whatever you feel like. Do you have a favorite drink or cocktail? Or I know it's a weird question, but you just never know. All right, you like beer, and you like Tom Collins. I like that drink. All right. In terms of like daily habits, are you an early riser? Like if it's a weekend, do you tend to bounce out of bed, or you like to sleep in? And let's say you have a weekend to yourself, and what would be some of the, like if you didn't have too many chores to do or errands, what would you like to do ideally? Read the paper in bed. Okay. Anything else? Make yourself French toast. That sounds really yummy. And okay. Then you might go out, do some grocery shopping. Well, that would be the errand part. What if you didn't have to go grocery shopping? You just wanted to do something like for fun? You might go to see a game. Besides baseball, any other favorite sports? Oh, you like quite a few sports. Okay. Do you do any other sports yourself besides baseball? Or you like play tennis too? Okay. Oh, and you might go to the beach. Beach is very popular, I must say. Alright, so you might take in a game. You might go to the beach. Do you like running, jogging, going for walks? You're not a runner. Not a jogger. Do you like taking walks? Okay. So you have 2 cats, but a lot of times people like take walks, are dog people. But you're a little different than average because you like to take long walks, but you have cats who don't really walk. Just observing. Oh, you take your cats out sometimes on a leash? I'll make a note of that. I've heard people do that, and if you train them early, they can learn to walk on leashes. That's pretty cool. Excuse me. Okay, so if you had a person you were interested in, let's say at work or a friend of a friend or whatever, what would you suggest doing? Like if you were going to ask them out, what kinds of things would you like to do on an initial date? What would you, or just a casual meet for coffee? All right. So let's see. Or meet for a drink after work. Okay. And personality-wise, would you call yourself an introvert or an extrovert, or no, you don't really feel strongly about either of those? Maybe there's some other option that we don't know about. Alright, so you're slightly lean, but introvert, but you're not really super introvert. Okay. So you consider yourself fairly social, not like a, Okay. How do you feel about parties? Like if a friend asks you to a party, would you, if there's a lot of people, let's say, that you did not know, would you probably say yes? Okay. So, in terms of relationships, have you been in a long-term relationship recently? And when was the last time you were in one, would you say? Or when ended the last time? Okay, so it's been a little over 2 years. And how long were you together? Oh, wow, okay. That's pretty good long term. And was the breakup initiated by you or by her, or was it more mutual? She broke up with you. Alright, that must have been rough after that, after 5 years. Yeah, well, I can see why you haven't dated in a couple of years. Well, you didn't say you haven't dated, just that you haven't been in a relationship. So have you dated much since the breakup? Yeah, that just anything, like you went out for coffee, or you had lunch with somebody, or you went to a game together. So you have done some dating, but not too much since then. So last holiday, last year, do you remember, were you seeing anybody then at the time, even casually, or were you just kind of on your own for the holiday? Yeah. Was it were you depressed, or what would you say your mental state was during the holiday last year? You were kind of lonely. Yeah, well, I don't blame you. Are most of your friends single, married, or a mixture? How would you describe your friends group, in other words, in terms of that? Alright. friends have children? Are you very close to them? Oh, that's nice. And what about siblings? Do you have siblings that live in the area, and are you very close to them? And what about nieces and nephews? Oh, that's nice. You could take the one niece and nephew out with you, like to ball games. That's really great. I'm sure they love to have that, Uncle Gary. All right. So if you were, let's say, now attraction does play a big part in initial interest, as we all know, but being attracted to somebody superficially is not an indicator of compatibility or attraction to the personality, but we get all hung up on the physical attraction, sometimes to the detriment of looking past that. Now, that's not to say, as you know, that it's not an important factor. It can be a very important initial factor to become interested in finding out more about somebody. Yeah. So what would you say in terms of attraction? What sort of woman are you looking for in terms of a specific age or career, occupation, personality type, appearances, any of that? Right. So somebody within 10 years of you. Okay. Employed. And in terms of height, weight, hair color, eye color, any of those things that people sometimes have an attraction to. You're pretty open. Alright. That is good. That's being honest. Now, are there any careers that you find like unappealing or that you don't want somebody in the health field? Oh, I see. Yeah, I can understand. Was your dad just never home much? He was on call all the time. Yeah, I could see it. Being a doctor is very demanding, and that would make sense. Alright. So you ideally like somebody that had a more regular hours, not on call where they're gone half the time or not available or always breaking days, stuff like that. Okay, no problem at all. So, in terms of other interests, what sort of music do you like to listen to? And in the car, do you play music? Do you listen to the news? Do you listen to podcasts? Okay, so you like some political podcasts? My husband likes a lot of political podcasts. Alright. And politically leaning one way or the other, or near the middle, or... Okay, I'll put that down. That can be a big divisive factor, as we know these days. Alright. Let's see. concerts, so you like, sounds like lots of different kinds of music. Do you ever go to live concerts, live shows? Sometimes the opera, right? That's not so common amongst our clientele. Not as common as some of the other things. But you also like rock and indie music or alternative music. What about dancing? Do you like dancing? Like social dancing? Popular dance? Not so much of a dance. You would be surprised how many women want somebody that likes dancing. So there's plenty of that don't care about it too, so not to worry. We will find somebody just for you. Alright, what about food preferences? Do you have any particular strong preferences, needs, dietary restrictions, strong allergies, anything like that? Do you have a peanut allergy? That's not uncommon these days. Okay, and you love Italian food and Chinese food and Indian food. Alright, cool. Excuse me. Very nice. And you're trying to do a plant-based diet. A lot of people are going to that now. It's so good for the health and good for the environment. Yes, and those cuisines all are very easy to get the plant-based versions of that. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we're just about done. Okay, so this next section is just a series of questions, if you prefer A or B, and this is where you don't think too much about it, just shout out whatever first pops into your head. Okay. So, would you rather take a long walk on the beach or go have a bonfire in the woods? Okay. Would you rather have a formal dinner at a fancy restaurant or go to a friend's birthday party with your date? Okay. And do you prefer if your date or partner has a cat or a dog? Do you prefer no pets or pets? I should say that first. Okay. Do you like to stay up late reading or watching TV? Okay. And do you are you more likely to be attracted to blonde hair, brunette hair, or red hair? Okay. That just about does it. We will get you set up and have your results in just a couple of days. Alright. Thank you so much, Gary. I know we're going to find a great matchup